Association picketed outside the SARS offices in the city. Among the pay increase, members also demand benefits. The union members say they were not backing down until their demands were met. Members of the public stayed away from the offices regardless of the upcoming VAT deadline. Joining us on the line now is SARS spokesperson Takalani Musweka. Takalani, good afternoon. Can you just give us a breakdown of how the operations were affected today?
Hi, good afternoon. Well, the impact of the strike has been very disruptive today. We had many of our employees who were not able to access our offices. In terms of the ticketing rules that SARS and organized labor had agreed upon, was that the picketing will only take place at Lehaila, SARS, and in Alberton. However, employees have violated those rules and were ticketed in many branches across the country. Now, that has disrupted our services that we had to close about 33 of our branches. In the course of the day, SARS had to approach the labor court on an urgent basis to interdict the employees from picketing at the non-designated sites. We have received an interim interdict from the labor court to stop the employees from continuing to picket at the sites that were not designated. So tomorrow we expect employees to continue to picket either at Lehigh and or Alberton and not at any other site. And therefore we hope that if that is stuck to by the employees, then we should be able to return to service where we can put in place the contingency plans that we had for all our branches.
Well, the SABC visited several branches and were members of the public who were really stranded and desperate to file because there's a deadline on Sunday. So what's going to happen in that case if they are not able to meet the deadline?
Well, obviously, anybody who's trying to file now, in terms of individual taxpayers, already very late in terms of filing. So penalties and fines are going to apply in terms of late filing. However, unfortunately, in terms of revenue, we cannot postpone the date. We cannot postpone the filing. Filing for individual taxpayers closed in January already for provisional taxpayers. And for corporates, we expect that many of them should be able to use the online e-filing services.
But then if you discover that some of them could not file due to this strike, you are aware that that will be them being prejudiced because they would have filed in any way, because a deadline is a deadline and it's their prerogative to file any time between now and then.
No, it's not their prerogative to file any time. They are already late in terms of that. However, if they were to, if we levy them the penalty for late filing, and they were able to make a case that makes sense in terms of why they could not file on time, then obviously that will be looked at. We always look at taxpayer objections if there is something that they feel that where do we go.
Any contingency measures in the meantime to deal with this frustration of members of the public?
Well, I think primarily, let me repeat that we apologize to all the taxpayers for the frustrations that they've experienced. It was primarily due to the fact that employees decided to picket and disrupt the services at areas where there was no agreement for them to picket there. So we trust that from tomorrow they will respect the picketing rules and not disrupt the services at the sites where they are not allowed to picket.
Please give us an update on the negotiations. So far, is SARS barging on this 7% offer because the employees are saying 11%, 11.4% or nothing?
Okay, let me clarify. We are sitting at 8% for a 3-year term. Employees are sitting at 11.4% for a single term. Now, we have not moved from that. We are saying if the employees insist on a single term, then the 7% is available. However, for us to move to 8%, we require a 3-year wage agreement. Unfortunately, the 11.4% is completely beyond our capacity to consider, and therefore we are not able to honor that. And that's the reason that we are not able to move at this point, because we're currently working with a deficit budget, and any increase above 7% is creating a huge deficit for us.
All right. Thank you so much. Takalani Musyoka is the spokesperson of the South African Revenue Service. Let's catch up on the latest numbers now, as far as the markets are concerned.